Hey, everybody. I'm Steph.
I'm Michael, and I'm Senor Azul, executive producer.
Yeah, but Senor doesn't really play games.
I mean,
We are here today with our top 10 games that we learned in May 2024.
that's right. And we just got back from BGG Spring.
Yeah, I got my BGG shirt on.
I've got my OFPG shirt on.
I got my Hawaiian BGG shirt.
That's right. I also have my Hawaiian BGG shirt on.
Stuff, it's like super cute.
I need the Hawaiian shirt.
Perfect for summer. Yeah, little Hawaiian shirt. Maybe Jelfie will make
That's right. It'll go with my Gen Con badge.
That's right. Oh, man. We played a lot of great games in May.
I played 45 new games.
I played 46.
Now, new meaning new to us, not new for this month. New to us this month.
That's right. So they could be old.
They could be old.
We
However,
played some weird games.
most of them are new.
Because I generally, in BGG Spring, I generally buy a stack of games from the storage sale that goes on. And most of them are games nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
So,
and
playing them and making Mick play with them with us.
No, you can't mention the storage sale unless you talk about the charity.
Oh, yeah. The storage sale, when BGG purges their collection library of, they have so many games. So they can't keep them all. And they donate these games to this auction.
All of the proceeds.
All of the money that they make from these games that they're getting rid of will go to Momentum Cafe. So sweet. That's so nice.
Yes.
They raised $12,000. And I'm pleased to say most of that money was not mine this time. I refrained from buying lots of, I think 2 years ago I ended up bringing a lot of money. It's really hard not to buy all the games because I want to, but I didn't.
Right. I mean, we only have one car.
We only have one car.
One hatchback to carry things back in.
I need a bigger car.
Everyone says that, oh, hey, Steph, you got a moving truck. No, it is the Mazda 3 hatchback of infinite size. So that's what that is.
Shanna says, I'm wearing both BGG shirts to show I'm committed to our BGG Hawaiian shirt cult.
That's right. I mean, these shirts, I got to say, they're lightweight. They're fantastic.
I love it's awesome.
If all three of these shirts are not on the BGG store now, they will be on the BGG store soon.
Mm-hmm.
I know that these shirts are. I don't know if the Hawaiian shirt is yet. However, it should be soon.
We love them. We love them.
And
we love them.
So, I mean, I expected that this would cost a lot. Like a lot. No, $25, I think is what it was at the con.
Very reasonable.
Don't know what it will be on the store. Very reasonably priced. So, and it's so comfortable. I wore it the entire con. If you watch Mick and Starla's video from Our Family Plays Games about their BGG spring trip, you will see us in the video a lot. And what am I always wearing?
Always.
I'm always wearing this shirt. So I wore this thing around.
We played so many games with Mick and Starla. It was amazing fun. So I am pleased we were able to get in so many games.
That's right.
But yes. Shall we start?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Say bye, Senor Azul. Whoa!
Well, he didn't even say bye.
I mean, I sort of forced him out.
Let's see.
Do you have any final words, Senor Azul? Fist bump. All right.
Michael is pretty pleased with his games. Several of them I had already played. But, yeah. Are you good to start with your number 10?
Yeah, I think I can do my number 10. My number 10 is a game from Horrible Guild. Oh, I should mention, we were provided copies of all of these games unless we specify that we were not provided a copy.
So these were provided.
Most of these. All but 3 of yours and 2 of mine. So if you see it here, assume that we got a copy. But
provided by the publisher.
They were provided by the publisher. But they did not give it to us in exchange for these top 10 ratings.
No.
They gave it to us because they know we like to play all the games. So moving on, my number 10 from Horrible Guild, it is Evergreen. So a lot of people will automatically compare this to photosynthesis. You have bushes that turn into small trees, which turn into large trees, and you have the sun shining on them from the 4 different directions of the game board, from the north, the south, the east, west, whatever.
It is the same designer.
And it is the same designer. And I gotta say, photosynthesis, it's more abstract, not nearly as much my jam. Evergreen is quite a bit different and much more my jam, I should say.
Yeah.
So you've got cards that you are drafting, and you are going to place trees in the region on the card that you picked up, and then there's going to be a bonus action in the corner of the card that is going to let you do some other kind of action, maybe in the region where your card is, maybe somewhere else on the world. They've got like 6 different region types, and you have to place them specifically. Well, you don't want trees blocking other trees, but you do want to make a contiguous forest because you're going to get points for each of those type of things this in each season. Very much more my type of game than photosynthesis. So if you sort of liked bits and pieces of photosynthesis, but it left you cold because you're not as much an abstract fan like me, then you really should give Evergreen a try.
Yeah, we have not tried the expansion. Shanna was asked if we played the expansion. I am interested in the expansion for sure. I quite enjoyed Evergreen. I played it a while back. So it is on Board Game Arena, so
so that's not on your list because
I played it a long time ago. So, but I've enjoyed playing it again recently with you, so it's been fun.
Yeah. Splutty wants to know if he tuned into a Weird Al stream. It's our fantastic BGG Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, you don't like?
We love this. It's so good.
Nice. All right.
And it's Mayflowers. It looks sort of flowery, right?
Summer. Okay.
Right.
We're ready for
and geek components. There's dice and meeples and coins, right?
All the things.
Very much gamer Hawaiian.
Yes.
So you're number 10.
My number 10. Not provided by Roxley Games, but it is called Skyrise. I had been wanting to try this for a long time. I've seen it like at conventions. Such a stunner. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Hopefully, I will request it because I quite enjoyed it. It has a really weird bidding mechanic.
Yes.
Because you're bidding, and normally you'd you bid for a region and somebody over increases for the same region. But no, if you're going to increase your bid, you're going to an adjacent area. So that's definitely different than the normal kind of auction type bidding game because
not only are you bidding, you're moving the place where you're bidding.
Now you're like, well, do I really want to increase the bid on a territory I might not want? But I don't want them to take this region because if they take it, then I can't get it and I really want that region. So you kind of have to overbid. So
I have to move towards that region. So I have to at least get it out that direction. So do I take a risk? But if I go there, then maybe somebody else goes there, or maybe they go a completely different direction. No, I wanted it to go toward the north. You went toward the east. No.
So it has a really cool dynamic with how you're doing this. My concern about the game is that there's not enough hidden objectives or like they're all very samey. Like it seems fairly easy to get your hidden objective. Like if you don't get it, well, you're probably gonna lose.
So here are the hidden objectives.
Yeah.
Get more than 4 white regions, more than 4 green regions, more than 4 black regions, or more than 4
yellow?
Yes.
Yellow, I think.
Whatever the other color is. There were 4 colors.
4 colors.
And those are
it's all the same. It's all the same. So
it's fairly easy to figure out what people are going for. Because if you are going for
green, I'm in 2 green regions.
And yeah. And when it's multiple players, you only have a limited number of buildings. So when you bid, you're bidding buildings.
Yeah,
that go on the board.
So the game is fairly simple. I want to play it more.
I just missed my list because there were so many good games in May.
Yeah, I think
this is also a good game.
This is a game that could benefit from an expansion of some sort. I don't know what it would look like, but feel like with multiple plays, I might have seen all of this has
That was my concern with it and why it ultimately did not make my
right.
list.
So for now, I really did enjoy our play. I think it has a really good bidding mechanic. It's different. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. So there are 5 islands, a central island, which is always the same central island, and 4 satellite islands spread out 4 different directions from the central island. Here's the thing. Those 4 platters are always the same 4 platters.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be mixed up with how they're displayed, but
it's always going to be, wedged in, like a pizza wedge into those things. So
sure.
You can mix up those 4 pieces, but it's still those same 4 pieces. And Dan is correct. It is a remake of Metropolis.
Okay. I feel like I played Metropolis. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know I like Skyrise more. Because if I played Metropolis, I think I rated it like a 6 or something.
This was definitely a fun game. Don't misunderstand the fact that it's her number 10 and not on my list does not mean that.
Yeah, we did play some good games.
That we hated this. This is a good game, actually.
Well, for sure.
But there were a ton of good games this month. So, gotta say.
So we're checking out.
Definitely worth checking out.
Pizza.
Skyrise from Roxley Games. My number 9 game was from Portal Games. It is in the Imperial line. Like there's a whole bunch of the Imperial. What are the games called? Help me out, Steph. There was the
Imperial
Settlers, Empires of the North,
yes.
And now
yes,
Imperial Miners. So you are dwarves. You are trying to mine down deeper and deeper into a mine, but you got to start off at the surface. What you're going to do is you're going to have a hand of cards that are level 1, 2, and 3. You can get level 4 cards, but you can't just draw them when you want them. They're used as bonuses. What you're going to do is you're going to play a level 1 card. You're going to activate the level 1 card, and then you're going to activate everything above it, which only leaves the surface, right? I mean, level 1 is just 1 level below the surface. So you're going to play a level 2 card. It has to go beneath 1 or more level 1 cards, and you put them so like there's 2 level 1 cards and then the level 2 below it. You don't have to have all the level 1s filled up, but you do have to at least put it below half of a level 1. And then you are going to activate your level 2 card, then your level 1 card, or one of the level 1 cards if there are 2 paths to go, and then the surface. Same thing, level 3. 3, 2, 1, up. If you manage to get a level 4 card in there, it's really good because you're going to activate your level 4, which is really strong. Then your level 3, a little less strong, but still strong. 2, 1, surface. And building up these cool combos. There are also different dwarf clans that they resonate with different sorts of abilities. Some want you to have a diverse amount of clans. Some want you to have cave-ins on your mine. Some want you to have things next to other things. And so it's really cool how all of these things go together. Ultimately, I love combos. I love
it's a great
resource management.
It's my list too.
What? So this is the weird thing. When we played this, you were sort of it was weird.
I don't know what you're thinking about.
You had mentioned something that I thought you had concerns with something, and I'm like, oh, clearly this is not going to be on Steph's list, but it's definitely going to be on my list.
I don't know.
But hey, surprise!
I don't know what you're saying.
Anyway, you might see this on Steph's list. That is Imperial Miners from Portal Games.
Yeah. I just wanted to say to Mick, I do not lie.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Your number 9.
My number 9.
Just missed my list.
Is Botanicus from Hans im Glück. It was all over a convention we went to in April, and people were playing it everywhere. So I wanted to play it, and Hans im Glück was very generous to provide this copy to us so we could play it. It is a really cool action selection type of game where you're moving your pawn along these different selections of actions, but
To a garden.
Through a garden, yes. And so you're trying to collect these tiles for your garden to grow your plants. But the way the action selection works is like the person who gets basically the weakest action will get to go first in the next round. So you kind of want to plan depending on what you see is coming up on how you want to get different plants or the actions that you can choose. So you're trying to get your garden filled with these plants. And to do that, you have to have your gardener in the right spot and then take the actions at the right time. So you can do that. You have to have money to move the gardener around and to move on the different tracks. It's I would say it's a medium game. I on the lighter side of that.
Medium weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we played this 2 players.
Yeah.
And the dummy player mechanic, it's
weird.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It will always take the lowest position that's available at the time. No, that's not true. The person with the lowest mechanic gets to place it where they want it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it can block, but the thing is that you're never truly blocked because you can always move to an occupied space by paying a little extra, and we never did do that.
No, because you get the extra, so that if you go to a space that is not occupied, you also get a special bonus for that space. So you want the extra little bonus.
Kind of do want that.
So you don't often want to take an action somebody's already done, because one, you have to pay extra, and 2, you don't get that extra bonus.
Right.
So I really like it. And then when you get to the end of the track of actions, all of those tokens flip over, and you basically do a whole second round of phase. Yeah. So then the game will be over.
Right. But the reason I brought that up is because if the rating for 2 players is that it barely missed the list and it was 9th on your list, I think it would improve at 3 and 4 players. So had we played this with 3 or 4 players, it might have been higher on both of our lists. It's when I said that.
I do want to play it with more people.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
we'll have a better dynamic with 4 players, just as the action selection is happening.
Is there? I can't remember. Is there hidden information in Botanicus?
I don't think so.
If not, we might be able to play it with someone on stream.
We already played it on stream with 2, but yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to play it 3 players. With someone on stream, so
it's a great game. I quite enjoyed it. It's up my alley, so I'm really pleased that we were able to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that is
I just love playing Hans of Gluck games.
Yeah,
always.
I agree. That is Botanicus by Hans M. Gluck. My number 8, which barely missed your list.
Yeah, I think it was
number 12.
Number 12.
Yes.
So
from Studio H and Hachette, it's Virtual Revolution. So basically you are running a VR company and you are gaining control over these areas in basically New Paris, Neo Paris. And it's like the VR version of Paris. You start out randomly, all with like area control all over the board. You can only ever have one person in control of an area. So you're either pulling off opponents' discs or putting on your own disc. And not only that, you do have cards that you're going to take an action, which might be to get some money. That might be to draft one of these cards that might be a soldier or a tech or a diplomat type. And those will give you certain bonuses. Then when you have acquired them, then you can use them. That gives you an enhanced sort of ability. And then you can tuck them under. That gives you different bonuses and upgrades. You want to try to get a variety of those so you can get extra bonus points at the end. So it's got a little bit of area control with dudes on a map. You've also got that you're also putting a server out in each of these districts and gaining control of the districts, which gives you more different actions that you can do. Again, this since it was area control and we played this at 2 players, this is another game that I think would strongly benefit from 3 or 4 player play.
Mick was asking, we have it, need to get it to the table, good with 2. I thought it was
It's-
fairly good with 2.
Yes, I think
Um,
even still, it was fairly good with 2. It's just that whenever you are pulling control away from a player, you know who is coming after you, and it's always me pulling from her and her pulling from me, and so tug of war is not as interesting as I think a 3-way.
Yeah, when everybody
struggle.
can just gang up on me. Yeah,
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Exactly.
Not great.
The really
Be best with 4.
The really cool thing with the area control is each of these regions have exactly 3 regions in an area.
Oh, 3 regions.
Exactly 3 in an area. You don't get control till you get the 3rd, and you don't lose control till you're removed from 2 of those areas. They can remove you from 1, and that's okay, but you have to start worrying if they get into a position where they can quickly remove you from a 2nd. A soldier card might actually do something like that, and that gives you a reason to draft soldier cards. So I think that is some of those mechanics are interesting. It's not. I like it that it's not. Oh, I remove one of your regions and poof, you've lost your control.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
That would be bad. So I like how they address that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it is a game that we are looking forward to showing. Have we haven't played this on stream? We've already streamed. Okay, as I could not remember.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we went to BGG Con. So yeah. Matt would love to see a real life 3-way tug of war that actually exists. You should take a look. Well, Physical 100 on Netflix. Yeah. I think they did a 3-way tug of war. Anyway, be sure to check out Virtual Revolution from Studio Age. You'll have to tell me if we've played some of these games. I know
we did.
We played this twice yet.
Yeah. Hey, Shanna, thank you for all the days.
Thanks for supporting the channel.
Yeah. All right.
Your number
8 is Harmonies. Okay. I set my bar really low for this.
This was barely off my list too, like number 11 or 12.
I set my bar really low because it's been so hyped. Does that make sense? Like,
no, you set your bar high. No, you set it low because it was hyped.
Yeah, because it's literally everywhere. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Facebook. It's everywhere.
This is old Steph. Old Steph would see a game that gets a lot of hype. She sets her bar high and totally misses the bar every time.
It's not nearly as good as everybody says it is.
Right. See, Mick says, yes, love it. It survived the hype. So now Steph just sets her bar low.
Oh, it's super low.
Because she thinks it's hyped, it's got to be trash.
No, I don't think that. I want to be proven wrong. I want there to be a hype, but I know myself, and I'm like, I can't get hyped about something anymore. Like, unless it's like an
she's a curmudgeon.
I'm definitely a curmudgeon. I want to be surprised.
So where's your starry-eyed, bubbly rainbow self?
It's underneath Feast for Odin.
Wow. Dang.
No, I wanted to play this. It's a beautiful game. It's so pretty. So it was like one of the first games we played at BGG Con because it was on the shelf. I'm like, it's never going to be not on the shelf. Like, I'm never going to see this again. So, me.
Hi.
Where's Splutty? He loves when I'm all Marabu. There you go. Yeah, Dan broke me. But Harmonies is such a gorgeous game. So if we're going based off of gorgeous games, this would be probably near the top because it's beautiful.
1000%.
As far as the gameplay, it's pretty puzzly. It's fun. It's hard not to compare it to something like
Cascadia for sure.
No, it's hard not to. Just because you're placing these things, you're trying to get the connections and fulfill your goals of your animals.
Like, I want this wolf in a cave, right, a little mountain right next to 2 forests or something.
Yeah,
it has to be exactly that.
Yeah,
and boom, you get some points.
And so ultimately, it's a drafting game. You're drafting these pieces from kind of like a Zool in a way. You're just drafting a whole set of tiles that you place on your board wherever you want. And so it's a matter about getting the tiles you want to fulfill the goals that you have. It's fairly simple. It does a good job at what it's doing.
Yeah, now here's the catch with Harmonies. And I got to be honest, this was like number 10B on my list. I discussed with you. I was like, I cannot
back and forth
with that in Evergreen. I could not think about which one, but ultimately, I remember when the market becomes like there was at one point there were 4 red cards out of 5, I think, up in the market, and nobody wanted them, and they weren't moving. And there's not a flush
Harmonies.
mechanism.
Yeah, for Harmonies.
Right. And which made it so it's like, okay, well, yeah, Harmonies is the one that's like right next.
No, I know, but I'm just saying there's also drafting cards in
but
in a way.
Yeah, but it was they don't cost you anything, but they do cost your positions. And if no one else is taking any and you filled up all of your positions, you're not cycling the market anymore. And there's no way to get rid of them other than fulfilling the objectives. And so, I mean, I wish it had a flush.
It didn't bother me as much, but I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I thought the game was pretty good. Will I need to add it to my collection? Maybe not.
Whoa.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how often it would get played.
Well, that's
like, does it compare to something like Acropolis? I would always choose to play Acropolis over this. I know they're not the same.
But here's the thing. Like, not everybody has a 2,300 game collection.
Also true.
Would people be happy with Harmonies? And the answer is...
Well, yeah.
There you go.
I know. The hype is real, people. Like, I'm sure the majority of gamers will like Harmonies. Like,
yeah.
But, is it needed in the collection? Maybe.
Yeah. Matt.
It's a big maybe.
Matt says needs a flush mechanism. Beat says Cascadia has a flush mechanism. Mick says, yeah, the market could be a problem. Cascadia has a flush mechanism. So, yeah, it's probably easy to house roll. So, definitely something worth checking out. It's so beautiful.
Kill the last card. Move a card in.
Yeah, or the whole batch and just let them cycle a lot. I don't see where that would be a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's on my list at number 8. I really enjoyed it. Are there so many games like it? Sure.
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I will happily play this more. If people want to play this, I'd be playing it. That's great.
That's
basically what it comes down to.
That is your number 8 Harmonies from Libelude.
Yes.
My number 7.
I thought this would be higher.
You thought this would be higher on my list, huh?
I did. But that's cool.
I'll explain why.
Okay, here we go.
La Famiglia, the Great Mafia War from Capstone Games.
Yes.
So this game, you are playing one of the great Mafia families. And this is all on the what's the little island? Is it Sicily? Off of the boot of Italy?
Yeah.
And you are trying to take control of these areas. Now, area control games are not your jam.
No.
They're not my jam. But that is ultimately what you have to do in order to win, because it is either a race to one player having 5, your team having 6, or 4 rounds passes. And then it's whoever has the most. So ultimately, it is a race area control game. So that's should be 2 strikes on your list. Should be. I will say.
Might be on my list, though.
It might be on your list. So, and so, I should mention, this is a team game. I got to play with Candace. You got to play with Jelfia.
That's right.
The 2 Mafia dons themselves.
Sounds like he doesn't like it because you and Jelfia beat him. True story.
It is a true story, but no, that's not why I didn't like it. And I did like it. It's my number 7 out of 45 games. That's pretty high, I gotta say. Top 6th. So, anyway, I really love the action selection mechanic. basically
Worker placement,
yeah,
basically.
you've got influence cylinders that are on the top half of this grid, and you're taking one of anybody's color and moving it. And you might think, oh, I hate games where they're taking your cylinder and you don't get anything for it. No, you actually get money for it, but it's like it's $1. Thing is, money is pretty tight in this game. You can't freely exchange money with your teammate. There is a mechanism to do so, but it's expensive. Remember? You remember that a lot because you were short on money.
Oh, I was super short on money.
So, and you've also got these little action tiles that you can place on the map in addition to your action, which will help you. Not in addition, but as your action in order to activate all of your soldati or mafia soldiers on the board. So you are increasing the strength of those tiles, or you are putting those tiles on, which are going to be like secret actions in order to, maybe you are going to attack somebody, or maybe you are just going to throw a bomb at them. Or a car bomb at them.
Jelfia did that bunch.
Which Jelfia was the crazy driver.
Sacrificing our cars.
Yes. So I really enjoyed. Or you can take a column of cylinders, pay a whole lot of money, upgrade your ability, and then place an action. That's like the super good ability. And that becomes more of a risk as cylinders disappear. It becomes cheaper to take a column of them because a column might be 1 or 2 discs.
Right. And if you leave 1 disc, then it's likely that the opponent's going to get that great ability. So you're like, well, spend the money to get it so that they don't get it. Because you don't want your opponents to get those cool abilities. So it's like, how do we get this money?
He says a column of cylinders is a bigger cylinder, but they're all different colors and they're not stacked.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. They're not stacked. But yeah, it's always this tug of war with the risk reward. Now, it's a super long game. I will say that. Even though I said it's 4 rounds, we only ended up playing 3 rounds. Why? Because Steph and Jelfia took a huge risk. So there's a mechanic. If you need money, you can either, like, let's say I was Steph's teammate. I can give her $1, but I have to get rid of $1. So it costs 2 for 1. That's if I've even got the money. If I don't have money to give her, she has to take those action tiles and get rid of them out of the game entirely for $1 whopping dollar. Especially when things cost like $6, $7, $8, $9.
Like 2 on the board, and I had 2 more behind my screen. So even if we went into round 4, I had 4 of them. So
I was going to firebomb 2 of her regions. And she's like, no, I can't have that. So there was only one way she could take care of that. And that is by acquiring a better action tile that goes faster than me because they have initiative values, and B, making sure I did not get first player. Because
to make sure I had to spend so much money to make sure Michael couldn't go first.
So
I needed the advantage of going first.
She had a 2-step plan. Had either step failed or had Jelfia not done her job.
Exactly.
And gotten a little bit lucky with taking
Candace did.
Taking Candace out.
That's where we got a little lucky. And that's the one thing. I'm like, we don't know.
Had they not won by having 6 combined regions at the end of 6 of 10 at the end of round 3, they would have gone into round 4 so extremely weak. Yeah. There was no way they were going to survive it.
I don't think so. Nothing. No way. I was like, but it's epic. So yeah, I would say each round is about an hour, and the rules took about an hour.
The rules took an hour.
A little bit more.
So it was a 3-4 hour thing. Yeah, so yeah.
But if we went another round, it would have been another hour.
But it's so beautiful. Look at this masterpiece. I mean, this is.
We haven't opened ours yet.
We haven't opened it. We did play it at BGG though.
Maybe if we can stream it, because we could maybe do 2-handed. It would be it'd be like the whole.
There is secret information, but you can share it
It
with.
could be my
But you can
partner.
share it with your partners. So we're thinking about doing it double-handed.
Yeah, or just doing a rules teach maybe. I don't know, but
We will
it's a great
we will
game.
see. Now, Matt was like, "Wow, each round takes an hour." Probably not playing that one. Well,
It's a game for you, Matt.
the game time was the box game time say. 90 to 180 minutes. So
it could be 90 minutes
this
unless you win in one round.
it should. I think it will speed up the better you get. Though none of us are AP.
Yeah, none of us are
So-
really AP, so I don't know. It's pretty.
So I gotta say, Matt. Well, let me finish by saying, again, this was a very, very, very packed month of strong games. You know, we don't say that about every month. The matter of fact, it's like, oh, we only had 20 games, you know, this month. No, we had 45 games, and they were strong games. Being number 7 on my list, definitely no slouch. Be sure to check out La Familia, the great Mafia war. But now I'm going to talk about Matt saying when rules take longer than 20 minutes, I check out. Matt, these days,
Everything.
there are rules for games. There are games that take 20 minutes to play that have rules that take an hour to get through. Especially these tug of war games that are like, oh, you have to know the history of these. No, I don't.
To the Tiny Epic games. The Tiny Epic Dungeon
Yes.
was like a rule book, like super thick and like tiny intricate detailed rules, and needs like a huge FAQ, and like for a tiny little game, why is the rule book like 50 pages?
Exactly.
Buttons and bugs, sure.
Yeah. Buttons and bugs, I understand. Plus, you know.
Stay awake.
But and Buttons and Bugs still has a big payoff. It's much more than its small size. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But games that take 20 minutes should not take an hour to learn, or 2 hours to learn, or whatever. A lot of times when we want to knock out these really quick games, we'll look at the rule book and go, it's a 24-page rule book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that is my number 7. Your number 7
is Chu Han.
From Matago.
Yeah, this is a 2-player game. I was worried this was going to be a normal card dueling game, but it's more of a trick-taking game.
It's more of a shedding trick-taking game, yeah.
For sure. And so there's all these different special cards that you can activate. There's special lead powers you can activate. But you're trying to basically have your hand of cards go out first. And so you're playing these cards in sets, trying to ladder climb up and, you know, get rid of your cards first and take control.
I've got 2 3s. Oh, I've got 2 4s. I've got 2 6s.
Yeah, but so the way the card distribution works is a little different. So there's going to be a lot more 1s than there are 9s. It equals 10.
There's 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s.
Okay. Other way.
1 9 2 1 10 2 9s 3 8s 4 7s. Yes,
so,
that.
So I think it adds up to 10. So I think there's 1 9 and then like 9 1s. So, yeah. So you kind of know what's in the deck. You can. What I like about this game is that you can. I forget what it's called, but you can take the 2 cards into your hand each round.
So yeah, you can do what you can take one of these chits. There are like 6 of them.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Yeah, forget what they're called, but that lets you take 2 cards. In addition,
so add cards to your hand. You don't want cards.
You don't want cards.
Better, so that's where
I think that is where the magic of this game is.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about it.
Yes.
So, because you don't know it's a good mechanic because you don't know what's there. And
well, the reason it's a good mechanic is this. If I go out, then I'm going to get points equal to the number of cards in her hand. Maximum, I think it's 5, right? And you're trying to get to 31, I think it is, right? Okay, fine. 5. If it's at 5 cards or 10 cards or 15 cards, it's not going to matter. I'm only going to get 5 points. But if every chit she takes adds 1, to that score. So even if you almost go out, those like 2 or 3 or 4 chits are going to stay in your hand, and that's going to be points against you at the end of the game. And I think that is where a lot of that magic is. In addition, you can play cards for powers. I think the 3s and the 6s have special powers, and you can play one of those cards in a turn. Like it might allow you to do to play an equal. Like if Steph played 3 4s, I can also play 3 4s instead of playing 3 5s or 3 6s. So every what you take?
Every trick?
Every trick you take? I don't know.
Or I forget what the little
chit.
Yeah.
CHIT, chit.
Yeah, it's so you can take these tokens to draw extra cards at the start of like the turn.
Where's Chu Han?
I don't know. There.
Somewhere.
I got it.
I think it's a writ. What is it?
Oh yeah, I think it is a writ.
Yes, writ. It's an Imperial writ.
So it's this.
But it's a little token.
It's a token, and these tokens will provide points to your opponent if they go out first. That's all. So you just have to be careful about taking too many of them if you don't think you're going to go out first. So it's done really well. Beautiful, beautiful game.
From what I understand, we've got one of the first 2 copies in existence.
Yeah, I think this one is out at Gen Con.
So. Yeah, it's a targeted Gen Con release.
So if you're going to Gen Con, be sure check that out.
Yeah. So Matt says, was trying to think if I had any Tom Lehman games or if I had played any. I got to say,
Race for the Galaxy.
Race for the Galaxy, Roll for the Galaxy, New Frontiers. I got to say, I'm a Tom Lehman fanboy.
Res Arcana, people love that.
He is, yeah.
So yeah, he's done a bunch of games.
Plus, he's a good friend. So
yeah.
His tittles.
You should probably play Roll for the Galaxy. It's great.
And I did like his pandemic titles, and then he changed it to titles. I'll take titles for 200.
No. No. All right. Are we on to yours?
Here we have our Celebrity Jeopardy version.
6.
My number 6 is from Slugfest Games, The Red Dragon Inn Battle for Greyport. I had not played any of the Red Dragon Inn games before this, since I have now played Red Dragon Inn 9.
Yeah.
But I thought that this was just like all the other Red Dragon Inn games. Boy, was I wrong.
I knew it wasn't.
This is a super fun cooperative game where you are trying to take on a scenario with 3 locations. It reminds me of one of my favorite games, Pathfinder Adventure Card Game. Can you see the similarities in that?
Oh, yeah.
I think
I really like this, too. There's also a campaign that we're going to try out.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to like that even more than this. But even still, this is really good.
Yes. Oh, you've got a expansion right over here. Wow.
I'm excited to play for these.
Chaos and Copperforge and Battle for Greyport. One of your favorite themes ever, pirates. I think if it's pirates and mummies. So Steph has the 3 things she will not play. Zombies, spiders, and hospitals.
Oh my.
But there's also 2 themes she really, really loves, and that is pirates and mummies. And is there a third one?
No, just like Egyptian in general.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's kind of like
pirates, Egyptian, and what? It is kind of like a mummy is just a wrapped up zombie. Am I right?
Lord of the Rings is the other one.
There we go.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, Egyptian, and pirates. Those are the 3 good things for Steph.
No Giants Hospital. What?
No, she
hate hospitals.
Yeah, but she loves Healthy Heart Hospital.
I do. There's always an exception.
There's always exceptions.
It's an exception.
She loves what is that game that Maximum Apocalypse that has both a hospital and zombies. And there probably is a spider somewhere in there too.
Probably.
So, yeah. So Red Dragon Inn, Battle for Greyport. The levels get harder, the bosses get harder. We're like, oh hey, we beat level 1. That's easy.
Yeah,
Hey, let's go level 2. Smash.
Yeah, we got smashed.
Yeah.
We got owned on stream.
But
Sorry
super
about
fun.
that. But yeah.
I
want to play it again. And
yes.
I'm sad that we didn't play it. I'm sad that Aldi brought it and we didn't even get to play it.
Yeah.
He brought it for us to play with him and
Yeah.
we didn't play it. So
Well,
that was a mistake.
That's because we played so many other games with him, including
We played a bunch.
including a game that's going to be on my list coming up. So stay tuned for that. That is my number 6, the Red Dragon Inn, Battle for Greyport from Slugfest.
It is pretty great. Hey, guess what? There's a crossover right now.
There's a crossover.
Yeah.
Oh, your number 6 and my number 5 from Mighty Boards.
Mighty Boards. We got Rebirth.
Rebirth.
I believe it's currently still on Kickstarter.
What?
Or it just ended. I don't know.
What?
I haven't checked recently. But check. Because it's great.
If it is on Kickstarter, or if late pledges are being allowed, you know what Jelfie is going to say? She's going to say it right here in the stream. Where are you, Jelfia?
She's busy.
Are you busy?
She's busy.
Jelfia is going to say, she's typing it furiously right this minute. Don't wait, or it'll be too late. Look, she's like, oh, she's making slime.
Oh, that's even harder to type if you have slime all over the place. But Rebirth, yeah, if it's still on Kickstarter, check it out. I'm guessing there'll be a late pledge option if it's after the fact. But we both really enjoyed this. It is a new Knizia game.
Mhm.
It has a little bit of area control where you're trying to fulfill different objectives. As you build next to certain locations, you'll get more objective cards. So as you're getting these, you're like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? So I like that you're
Pro tip, get your objectives early so you know
what to do. But I also like the fact that you can, get them as you're playing the game, because you're not just dealt like 8 objectives at the beginning of the game. This is what I got to do. You're actively getting more, so you're actively looking and saying, how can I make this happen? It's like, I guess it's like Kingdom Builder in the fact that you get one tile and you're gonna have to place that tile on a matching thing. So I would say it's kind of like that. But I actually compare it to another Knizia game called Aristocrats. Never say it right. I don't know if that was
aristocracy.
Yes.
That.
Yes. But it's kind of opposite that, because at the beginning of the game, everything's on the board and you're just taking one at a time. And you're getting these different things, collecting sets and stuff. This one is you're actively putting tiles onto the board and making groupings and sets and scoring as you go. So it's different, but it's kind of the same. It gives me a similar feeling.
Right. So it's really cool that that I have the same tiles that you have, except at the start of the game, we take 2 tiles and put them aside.
Yeah.
You know what your 2 tiles are that are
That's
missing.
true.
But she doesn't know which 2 of my tiles are missing. So I might know that I have 2 electrical farms I'm not going to ever have in the whole game. And so I know I can't maximize my power with those electrical farms. But my food farms are going to be really good. I like games where I place something and I get 1 point for it. And I place something next to it and I'm going to get 2 more points. And I place something next to it and I'm going to get 3 more points. That forces Steph to maybe take something she wouldn't necessarily want to take, to try to block my line of contiguous whatever it is.
It's true. You want to stop that.
Yeah, you got to stop that, because you're just going to lose points every time from someone that's employing that strategy. But I've only got 3 tiles in my hand. Do I even have anything that can stop her? No, maybe not. So, yeah.
So we only played it with 2 people, but I'm really interested to try it with more people. The board opens up some spaces, some areas.
Yeah.
And
I would love to play this 3.
There's like more people interacting with the spaces.
Yes.
So you're definitely not going to be
a lot of it,
open as it is right now with 2.
So there are area majorities if you are around a cathedral.
Sure.
For example, if I've got 1 piece next to a cathedral, I get it. But if she puts a piece next to a cathedral, it's not exactly longest road rules. It is first you check to see if any of them are farms versus cities.
Right.
And that's the first tiebreaker. But if the tiebreaker is not broken, then you do indeed have to wait till you get your second tile. Eventually, you're gonna surround the cathedral to the point where you permanently place your piece on there, and no one else can take it off because there's no way you can lose majority. Your objective cards might say you want to be in control of certain places. Some of them might say you just need to have the most of something around a space, or the most regions, farm regions, for example. It's really, really fun.
Well, yeah. And so what's nice about it also is that the rules are like pretty simple.
They're pretty simple.
It's
with the exception of the tiebreaker,
yeah,
which can sometimes be tricky.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
worth it.
Easy to get into.
Absolutely.
And play. And so that's saying something.
That is.
For this day and age where all the games are.
Well, it's Knizia. He knows how to explain.
He's simplistic in his rules and mechanics, which I appreciate, which is why I like to try his games generally.
Right.
They might not all be winners, but they're
I'm glad you didn't say that I hate Knizia, because I don't hate Knizia. It's just some of them. Some of them are
this one.
Some of them are too basic. Rebirth is fantastic, even in a filled up month. My number 5, your number 6. Definitely a winner here, I think.
Something for sure is saying something. All right.
Evil bow tie man, says Mick.
Why is he evil? It's good.
Right. Your number 5 from Arclight Games and Arcane Wonders soon.
Yes. Ito. I've played it 14 times this month. I love it.
Something. You don't play games twice.
Well, the thing is, I've played it with all sorts of counts. Right?
Yes.
And I can honestly say playing it 2-player with you was probably the most fun because of how well we did. But I expected to do well. Because we play the mind so well. So I expected this one just to go like that. But it is fun. Even with 4 and 8 people, you'll probably just lose. But that's the discussion though at the table. It was a fun experience with 8 people because
it was okay.
But it's like saying these crazy things. And
I gotta say, at 6 and 8 players, I did not like it as much.
That's fair. I
got it.
Get it, but
and that did knock it down off my list. I gotta say, it is the game is enjoyable. I just prefer it at lower player counts.
And that's fine.
It's basically a combination of wavelength meets the mind. So those of you who have played it with us on stream understand how fun it is trying to give a clue that makes people want to put things in the 1 to 100 ranking exactly right.
Yeah.
But when we playing it on stream worked just fine. You guys seem to be somewhat in sync with each other. 6.
It's still hard.
We've not won one round at 6 players or more. Not one.
No.
Not one. Well, but you know,
people are, if you get one
probably the group
really bad at it, like that,
yes,
not estimate what 87 is like. And they say something like Iron Man, which is clearly a 99. It's like they're not properly estimating an 87.
So here's what happened during our game. We had somebody that would give a clue, and then other people gave their clues, and he changed his clue, which you can legally do by the rules. And then he changed it again, and then again, and he was clearly what we call that in the poker realm is he was tilting. Doing things that actively works against the team in a co-op setting, or actively trying to throw someone off their game in a poker setting. He's a similar thing. He was playing a little crazy. We'll say that. So, I'd put Iron Man at 80. He's no Hawkeye. Shanna really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had fun. I really like it. I think it's definitely a good small game to just bring around and play.
Quiver for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, basically,
you could play this
in my quiver with the mindset.
Yes. You can easily play it with Rainbow Badger.
Yeah.
Yes. Which, if you don't know what Rainbow Badger is, Drive Through Cards has a 0 to 120 deck that has really bright colors on it. And we use that to play the mind. So definitely something to check out from what Drive Through Cards.
Yeah.
Right, and search for Rainbow Badger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is Ito by Arclight Games and soon from Arcane Wonders.
Yes.
My number 4. Mick, who's a liar?
I'm not a liar.
So everyone knows my great love for hidden role games. Yeah. And that is especially true for my number 4 game of the month. You know, if I've got a hidden role game at number 4 instead of number 1, there's got to be some really good games this month. This was super fun. It is just heavy enough to be a good hidden trader game. What? There it is. Steph is a lie. Don't Mess with Cthulhu from Indie Board and Cards. I've got to get a copy of this from Indie. Have to. So, yeah, I didn't know it was from Indie, or else I would have said, we need it. We played the deluxe edition. Really fun. Basically, you have...
We played the deluxe edition, but we didn't play any of the deluxe edition.
Any of the deluxe stuff, yes. Yeah, and Mick's trying to find it too. Just talk to Stronghold Indie. I'm sure that they will hook you up. But what you do in this, you've got out of 6 people, you got a couple of cultists that want Cthulhu to be found, right? And so you've got cards face down in front of you, and you know what your cards are. Other people do not. The good guy team, investigators, I think they are trying to find a certain number of elder signs and without finding the one Cthulhu card.
Yeah.
And the 2 cultists, or 1 cultist, or 3 cultists, depending on how many people you're playing with, are wanting Cthulhu to be found and not the elder sign. So I've got my 5 cards in front of me. Steph has her 5 cards in front of her. And we go around and say, oh, I've got 2 elder signs, or I've got 1 elder sign. And eventually you're like, no, this count does not add up to the number of elder signs we're supposed to have. And so we have to trust each other. And we go back and forth saying, I want to search this card. And Steph turns it up. And then we go to another player. I want to check this. And we turn that card up. If it's an elder sign, great. That's one for the good guy team. If it's Cthulhu, good guys lose. Cultists win. You might think, well, that's sort of simple. You've only got 5 cards. Well, of all of the people playing, you're only going to get like 5 or 6 guesses.
Depending on how many people.
We shuffle up all the cards and deal out until everybody has 4 cards. And then the next round, 3 cards. And the next round, 2 cards. It might be where I've got Cthulhu, but I want you to check my stuff. I'll say, I got a lot of elder signs here.
Yeah, but you're a liar.
But am I? Maybe you need to check my cards. Yeah, that's the look you get. Or maybe I am legit and I've got some elder signs, but I've also got Cthulhu. Do you think I'm trying to hide something? Yeah, I've got elder signs, but I've also got Cthulhu. Don't check me. Wait till next round.
Yeah.
Oh, do you trust me at this point? I think it's got just enough. Games like The Resistance, Avalon, there's not enough meat on that bone for me. Don't Mess with Cthulhu has exactly the amount I need for a good, light, hidden role game.
Yeah.
And
it's probably my favorite amongst them.
It's good for what? Warehouse is not?
Amongst the light ones.
Oh, the light ones, gotcha. So
people have to lie in the game, Mick.
So Steph does not generally like hidden role games because you generally, at some point, have to lie. Well, with a light game like Don't Mess with Cthulhu, that doesn't take very long, like 20 minutes or so. So what if you lose or if you lie poorly? You're just going to pick yourself back up and play another game of it, right? There's low pressure. Low pressure.
Very poorly.
She says she lies poorly, but that's just because she doesn't know how other people are reading her or not reading her. I think she lies well. You see, it stresses her out so bad.
It does.
It probably stresses Starla out too. Mick and I, we can do it.
Oh,
we can do it.
Christina called me on it.
Yeah, Christina. Well, here's the.
So he's like, you,
Eric.
like, this is very.
Eric.
I'm like, oh
Eric.
my God, I'm like sweating.
Eric is a fantastic liar. He's so good.
Good.
He's so good. He's like, yeah, and you, and then, boom, and he throws out his coldest card.
Ridiculous.
It's so fun.
So good.
Time Roller has Time Bomb. I don't know that one. I'll have to check it out.
There.
So yes. Yes, Christina's face expression scared me.
I couldn't tell what she was.
I thought she was. Here's the thing. She looks guilty every time.
Every time
she looks guilty. So here's what happened. Here's what happened to us. I was a cultist, and
shocking.
Christina and Aldi called each other out. And Aldi was not a cultist, nor was Christina. However,
it was me.
It was me and you that game.
Yeah.
It was me and you that game. And so Christina and Aldi called each other out. Immediately, it's a he said, she said sort of thing. One of them's a cultist, right? Right? So I waited until round 3. And then Christina said that she had Cthulhu in front of her. And I'm like, now I know you're a liar because I've got Cthulhu in front of me. I did not have Cthulhu in front of me. But I made people think that she was pulling some strings and stuff. And she's like, no, you're lying. I had it then and I have it now.
See, that's the thing I could not do. A straight up lie.
I straight up. And here's the thing.
You should not do that.
I don't lie every game, but I act the same every game. And that's what makes a good liar, is that you can't act differently.
I know, but I can't. I can't. So
you get quiet when you.
Yes, if I have 2 elder signs, but I'm also a cultist, I would say I have 2 elder signs. I would play the part of the good guy, and hopefully we lose. Hopefully we win. Like
I would say I've got 3. Oh, you found my first 2. Keep digging here.
Oh yeah, so I had 2 elder signs and Cthulhu, but I'm not going to say I have 3 because that's a lie. I can't lie. I said I had 2, and hopefully they find Cthulhu.
If I say I have 1 and they find 2, I'm clearly busted. But that's also what. That's also what I might do, is that I'll say I have none or 1. If I say I've got 1, you might find the 1, but then I'm out. You don't need to search me anymore, and they believe me. It's so good.
Justin's a liar. Don't trust Justin. Mick's always like, Michael lies, Steph lies. No, Justin lies. All those traitors out there in the audience.
Yes, Justin knows. Always act the same if you are a traitor. Justin plays Battlestar Galactica with me all the time, at least once a year, hopefully twice a year. I never lie. You just bend the truth just a little bit, right?
He's liar.
So, but act the same, and it works for you. That's why I really enjoy Don't Mess with Cthulhu, bro. Buy indie boards and cards twice a year, says Justin. So.
Well, that was a lot for a game.
I mean, I gotta say, games like that are experience games, and you can tell a whole story behind it. Like, there's always that one Battlestar game where you say, hey, there was a time that I got all the civilian ships together and I dropped a nuke on them, when you're not supposed to. I mean, that's a definitely Cylon thing to do. But it's a story that can be told. You never say, hey, remember that time I made that really cool engine on... I
say that all the time.
On Dominion? No.
I say it all the time. All the time.
Yes, Steph needs to play BSG more. Shelby says, I love story games where you have stories for years. Exactly. Shelfia, we need to play Battlestar. Mark it next year. Or this fall, we're going to play it.
Yeah.
Well, Chris. Chris needs to play trader games with us.
All right. Game for Steph. Yep. You do it. That's all you.
Sounds great. You're number 4 from
Portal Games.
What?
I know.
This blew my mind. I thought, no, you can't come to fall. What? Nemesis, yes. Yes, Justin. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Like this game.
Yes. I know you like this game.
This would be higher on your list.
There are a lot of cards that do nothing for your vault, and there's not a good way of getting rid of them. For your mind, right?
Okay, the events are great.
But the events are great. There's some of them that are a little bit chaotic.
Yes, the game is so fast, and you're building this engine, and you're just trying to get the combos.
Yes.
It's a fast game, and there's different tracks you're working on. I think there's a lot of good choices in the game. As far as the Imperial Settlers line of games, this is my favorite of the bunch. It just because it's quick playing, and it gives you all the card options, and I think there's a lot of good choices, and this is one you should check out for sure, because I like the engine building, and I didn't have a problem being able to get rid of cards, so I don't really have that concern as like you do, but I don't know. I think it's great.
It is. I don't want to tell people negative things about it because I do like the game. It made my top 10. It was my number 9.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
Based on the reaction you had when playing it, I thought it was going to be higher on your list than it was on mine.
Yes.
But I guess I enjoyed it slightly more.
That may not be it. It may be that I enjoyed all of these games on my list as much as you liked your number 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
could be.
I think that may be what it is, because I really enjoyed all of these games that are on this top 10. Why does Michael hate so many games like this? Thanks, Time Roller. Don't hate these games. They're good.
So yeah, check it.
Check it.
Michael's number 3.
My number 3, we've talked about Chu Han by Matago. Big time layman fan. Big fan of games where you are doing ladder and or shedding sort of games. And I'm like, 2-player, this sounds like a tug of war. No, it's different. Leave it to Tom Lehman, who plays Teach You with us every year and taught me a Teach You convention that I still use to this day. I'm like, oh, you can't improve on the trick taking and shedding games that are out there. This is a game I would put in with those games as, hey, this is among my favorite shedding, trick taking, climbing games. So yes, Chu Han all the way. Number 3 on my list in a very stacked month.
I know. My number 3 also talked about Battle for Greyport.
We're moving right through these now that we're talking about the things that we've already talked about.
But cooperative adventure type game where you beat up the baddies. I like that you have to manage your hand of cards, but you still can help others on their turn. But if you give up all your good cards now when it comes to be your turn, you're not going to have cards to help battle your own problems.
That's right.
You want to try and have all the options. Really great deck builder, I found. Definitely want to play it more and go through the harder levels. Obviously, we can't even beat level 2, so... This
does monster attacking a lot different than a lot of other games. It puts monsters in front of you like the D&D series like Castle Ravenloft.
Right.
But there are some holes in how Castle Ravenloft does the combat. Like if I have skeletons and you have skeletons, all of them activate on both of our turns. I don't know if I like that way. This way works really well.
Yeah,
it's really clean.
Yeah.
It attacks the active player and the location. And on your turn, active player and location. Every time works easy.
Yeah. So it makes me excited for the campaign game that we have to check out.
Yeah. So. Why do you hate this so much you'd give it number 3? Why not number 1? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what? It's a great game. Play it.
Yes.
And it's an older title. So
yes.
I'm excited to play the expansions too.
Yes. My number 2, we have not talked about yet.
No, not yet.
And you have played this many months ago, which is why it's not on your list, right?
I played it in March many months ago.
Was it, well, yeah.
It was
2
on-
months. Was it on your list?
Yeah.
Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig from Bezier.
Which we're gonna play tonight on stream.
Which we're gonna play tonight.
So stick around.
I have not played Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
I know.
And that shocked Steph
that
so much.
really needs to change.
It will.
Yeah.
It will change.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like 9 out of 10.
Well, I did play Between Two Castles because I had played Between Two Cities.
It's not even.
And I'm like, okay, with Between Two Cities, I'm helping this person and this person. And Between Two Castles, I'm helping this person and this person. And it's like, it seemed like the winner was whoever really helped out their teammates, and that was usually who was like is almost a tie with that other player. It just did not, the between games just did not work for me. Blueprints is a roll and write version basically of Castles. So
which you haven't played.
Which I haven't played. So really enjoy what Blueprints has to offer. You've got your castle, and you can as you draft the different rooms that you are taking, you are putting them where you want in your castle, and then activating certain bonuses, like a bonus that will let you expand your castle more, or maybe move a door, or let you remove a door, or
there's actually a significant amount of changes from castles to this, because you get the flexibility of having weird room shapes and being able to erase a door or add a door,
flip, or rotate, or whatever you do with. I love those things. Which you can't do in castles, I assume, because you actually have tiles, right?
Yeah, it's tiles, so you can't do that. But there's flexibility in that. There's weird shaped rooms, which I really like.
Yes, and it's really cool that the paper, you can sort of see through it, and so you put the card under it and you trace it.
Actually, blueprint paper. Yeah. So it's like
really cool.
Yeah, all you need now is a lit table.
Yes.
Really
and
into it.
There are special abilities that let you choose something from the discard pile, especially if you're trying to get certain, like if I want the most green rooms, I need to be focusing on that, because there are also end goal requirements that you want to, which I know I'm going to love castles already. If you love castles, I assume anyway, since I haven't played, then you're going to absolutely love Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig.
The biggest difference of the games is that in castles there is an auction mechanic, which I would say is not almost the heart of the game. So it does a lot of similar things that I love in Blueprints, but I especially love the auction mechanic in castles, because you are pricing these tiles and then you get first dibs.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because it goes around the table. It'll eventually come back to me. So hopefully the tile I want is at the price I want to pay for it. But what's also good about it is, like, I want to price it in your range.
And everyone else gives you money, right?
You buy. So I want to price it. Oh, you have $3 and you really want this? I'm going to put it at the $2 level or whatever, that you can afford it.
Right.
And make sure.
Entice you to.
So there's this whole other, like, thing that's happening in castles that's really a nice dynamic.
It is not in Blueprints.
No.
So what?
It is a simple drafting game.
Drafting with initiative values on the cards. It's actually, I think it might correspond to room size. I can't remember, but I think the smaller rooms are 1 initiative. Yeah. The larger rooms are like 7, 8 initiatives.
So points.
Yes, they're also points. But if you get 1, you get a little small room, which you can put virtually anywhere.
Yeah.
It might give you certain bonuses.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get as many points, but you're going to get first pick. So it does tend to work.
Yeah. So if you don't like the auction mechanic in castles, because lots of people don't like auctions, like they don't know how to price it. They don't want to try and figure out that meta game. This game would be for those.
Auction
those
games.
players.
Auction games give math challenged people the same sort of panic as you have for social deduction games.
Probably.
I am not one of those people because I love auction mechanics, but that is from what I have been told, it makes people feel, because they can't handle.
I get that. I
Auction.
always like auction, like seeing what types of auction games there are. I really do enjoy the mechanics. So, and because you're playing tiles and building up your castle, the whole theme of it is like super cool.
Yes.
So Castles of Mac and Ludwig is like one of my top, like it's a top game for me. I love it. I think it's a great game. This is really good. And I was also pleased when I played it. So it made me happy that it was so high on your list because I'm like,
It almost made my top spot.
well, yeah, but
Were you worried?
I wasn't sure it was going to make your list, but
Yes.
the fact that you liked it as much as you did, I'm sure it didn't make rank as high, is because I'm comparing it to Castles, right? So maybe going into this one without playing Castles is also a good thing, because when we played this, we played it with two other huge Castles fans, and they didn't like it as much either.
Yeah, they were like, okay, yeah. So let me say what they said. One of the people who we played with, I'm not gonna call him out because I don't want him to embarrass him or anything. If I'm misspeaking what he says, but if I get it right, it was like, oh no, this is just too long for what it is, and the rules were long and blah blah blah. That may have been the rules reader's fault.
Well, he also has it. He can't compare.
I can't compare because I did not play Castles, and so he thought it was just too long. I did not think it was too long. It's only eight rounds.
A 10.
10?
I think it's 10.
It's not that long.
It's not that bad. And once you play it, it'll go faster.
It'll go faster.
But he had never played either.
Right.
So it will be longer if you haven't, just because getting the concepts down.
Mick loves Castles and the auction mechanics. Love it. Starla's very good with it. Starla's quick with those numbers. I mean, she's sharp. Wicked sharp.
Wicked sharp.
So, yeah, that is.
Play Castles is what it comes down to.
Gotta play Castles.
But I'm happy that you liked Blueprints as much as you did.
Yes.
Because that will just be all the greater when we do get Castles. So the difference also is that you can play Castles with 3 or more players, 3 to 5 players. This you can play with 2, which is good.
Yes.
At least I think you can play with 2.
Just says, I do agree that some games drastically go down on likability if they take too long for what they should be. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, another game we learned at BGG Con, Maple Valley. Not on my list.
Because it's too long. I enjoyed Maple Valley, but it is long.
Just like it's
from KTBG. It's cute. It's super cute. Tyrell says, but cute friends.
Fair enough.
So it is cute. And it is fun. Just it did not make my list. It was long for what it was. I do agree.
You know what was not long for what it was? My number 2.
That is why it was my number 7, because it is long.
I thought it'd be longer, to be fair. So
to be fair, it was going to be longer. It was going to be 1 round longer, but you and Jelfia crushed my soul.
This made my number 2, La Familia. I thought it was absolutely great. My bar was super low. I thought I was really not going to like it.
Because area control.
I'm like, okay.
Because race.
Yeah, well, you're sort of racing.
It is a race to 6 unless you go to 4 rounds.
4 rounds, or if one of the players can get what?
5. 1 player 5, team 6.
I thought 1 player.
1 player 5, or team 6.
Okay, so yeah, that's not necessarily.
It ultimately was a race for us because you.
It's blind, basically. All I knew is that it was long, and that it was area control. I didn't even know it was partnership. So when I sat down and Candace like, "Who's your partner?" I'm like, I was like, okay, that's why it's a 4-player game.
Okay, so we were we were watching Mick and Starla's BGG episode.
Yeah.
Right? And Mick was talking about that, or I can't remember if it's Mick or Starla, but they were like, oh, and I expected my partner to be sitting right next to me. But no, who was my partner? And it was Starla's partner was Mick, the one across from her, right? So I sat down across from Steph thinking Steph was going to be my partner. But was she? No, it was the person sitting next to me. It was Candace. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to crush them. But no, we got destroyed.
I got Jelfia, so.
You got Jelfia.
Automatic win.
But it was funny, though, because I assumed the opposite of what Starla did. Because I'm used to partners being across.
Yeah.
But no, it was next to. Starla thought next to, it was a cross for them. So anyway, it's funny.
Yeah. What I really liked about this game is strategizing with somebody.
That's really fun.
You know, because you have this little map and you have all of everybody.
It's a hidden map.
And you have the other players' like information. So you're like, okay, well, they know we have these. If they're gonna go for that over here, you're kind of like talking and they're kind of talking and you can car bomb them. Yeah, this all the good things.
Yeah, this car bomb time. Jelvia loved the small map. It's so cool.
Be less
secret. You can be secret and talk directly about it.
Point on the map, like, well, over here is looking good. You can do it like in a map form. It was super great.
I will say this
experience.
I will say this. You know how I always have my game that I think will likely rise or fall more. I think La Familia is probably it for me. I think that it has the potential to go up higher on my list.
Needs 4 players.
And
it's not
exactly 4 players.
The table because of that very frequently. Now, I do want to bring it to my game group. I think a lot of them will enjoy it, so hopefully I will get to play it again. I worry that if we don't play it enough, we will forget the rules and it's going to be kind of hard to get into it again. But the rules aren't that hard.
The rules are not that hard.
It's just a lot of like little things.
They can watch my rule teach when I do it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's super fun. You just need to like dedicate some time to learn it. Jelfia is born monster.
A mobster, not monster.
Like she's a monster.
Maybe that's why she likes Senor Azul so much.
You have a game group?
Yes. We have multiple game groups here.
Leader of our game group just had a baby, so we haven't like met in like.
You're not the leader?
I'm not the leader. I go. Hopefully I'll start hosting.
You're not the host.
I don't host.
You're the leader.
I don't even think I'm the leader. But I think the group will enjoy it.
Shelby likes making things that splat.
Yes, big splat. So this is again an experience game. We have a story to tell. It's good. It was really good. It by far exceeded my expectations.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean when I heard that it's like, oh hey, this is the day we've set aside for such and such a game. I'm like
to play it at BGG.
So the thing with big games like La Familia is, especially if you don't already know them, you have to play it in the meat of the day. Before, you don't want to really play it too early because then you're not awake enough. You don't want to play it too late because, hey, my mind is burnt. I need to play a game to cool off a little bit. It's got to be in a certain part of the day or it's just not going to get played. We don't schedule games, but we will say, hey, we need to make sure we play La Familia on Thursday and make sure that it hits the table on that day, or else if it gets too late, it's just going to be, there's no chance we're going to get to play it this late at night. Yeah. Justin says, preach it. Totally agree. Yes. Too late and some players pumpkin. Yes. They turn into pumpkins and poof, they're gone.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're not the type to just kind of roll out of bed and like open a big rule book. I could do that. I mean,
yes,
I could just jump into a big game in the morning and be fine. But I know a lot of people can't.
A lot of people can't.
But I'm glad we got Candace. I knew Candace would like it.
She was on board, 100%.
I knew she would like it. So I'm like, we really want to make sure we get to play with Candace because she always likes to play at least one big game with us, and it was really good.
And she picks up games super quick. She never has a problem learning rules, learning games.
Yeah.
We usually play one really big game with Candace, and a couple years ago, Deal with the Devil. This year, La Familia.
Well, a couple of years ago, Deal with the Devil. Then we played Nemesis with her.
Nemesis, yeah, but we weren't learning it.
No, she was.
I was teaching it to her, but it was
It wasn't a learn.
That was her big game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was your number 2 game.
I know. Now
we're going number 1s. Here's the thing with these number 1s. A, they're not the same. B, we've not talked about either of these on this stream.
Nope.
And C, I haven't played hers. So, and you haven't played mine. So, but here's the other thing. My number 1 is not going to be on your list. Ever.
It'll never be on my list.
Ever. It's a hidden trader game.
Yeah.
It is. I have not played this game until BGG Con because Derek wanted to get a group together that it was full of people who had played it fewer than 3 times. It is Blood on the Clocktower from the Pandemonium Institute. We do not have a copy of this yet, but I'm now on the search for it.
He's on the
because Hidden Trader Games.
He's on the hunt.
Cosmic Beat said such a great game. Oh, I didn't see. Justin said Candace is super sharp and picks up on games like nobody's business. 100% true. Jelfia was missed out on joining in because she was watching Z. Jelfia, do not worry. We will play this because I'm going to acquire a copy of this one way or the other because it is super fun. But the scenario I played was a lot like Werewolf. And you know how Werewolf games can get super clicky sometimes. Or you get people with vastly different skill levels. And so that's why Derek wanted to host a group that had only played, less than 3 times. They might have played other Hidden Trader games, but not this. You know what I'm saying? So it was very inviting and open, and there were not a lot of these weird terms being thrown around. Like I was watching one of Derek's Blood on the Clocktower streams, and I couldn't watch it because they were throwing around all of these terms that newbies had never heard before. And it's like, this is just not, it was not enjoyable for me to watch. I would enjoy a good Blood on the Clocktower game that is engaging. And the group that we played with was really good. Now, I did not rate this game number 1 just on the basis of this play. I rated it based on what I heard is coming with all of the expansions that I haven't played and all of the experimental characters that have not even made it in. So this is somewhat of a little 1 asterisk rating in that I think this has the potential to be even better. Splitty says you need to blow up the flarp when you're TBRAing because otherwise your opponent will zoink. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what are you even saying? If you're going to do a stream on this, bring the viewers in. They're watching your stream because they want to find out about it, not just because they want to see, you get the 4 people who know how to play it as well as the people at the table. That's not going to help increase your viewership. Anyway. Yeah, I agree. Justin says the narrator drives what you know, so you may know certain things, but the narrator misled you because you were the drunk. You passionately defend what you know, but you were fed bad info. And I think that that's what sets it apart from Werewolf, is that it has the bad info that you could be fed because the narrator drives so much of it. Now, there was a friend of mine who had a really bad experience with Blood on the Clocktower because of this bad info. And he said, I don't see how you can like this game because there's bad info. You can't trust any of the information. And I told him, you can trust some of the information because two people won't be giving you that same exact bad information. If this person is the drunk, this one can't be the drunk. You know what I'm saying? If this person is this role, this person can't be this role. They can't both be right. So and Beat says the storyteller ideally balances the game. Yes. Oh, got your hands on the Kickstarter edition, which is going for big bucks now. I would love to get a Kickstarter edition. Unfortunately, I don't have $500 to throw around. So I'm going to have to stick with a retail edition.
Yeah, it's like, do you want Nemesis or do you want Blood on the Clocktower?
Why not both? So, yes. This was also with a new storyteller. So I did take that with a grain of salt that there was a storyteller that had not played, but they did have two experienced Clocktower players helping manage things. It was a really enjoyable experience. If you enjoy games like Werewolf, this takes it up to 11. So, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beat says it's a step up in complexity. So, yes.
My number one.
Your number one. Now, I've not played.
Well, you can read Matt's comment first.
I'm never playing Clocktower, just not my type of game. Exactly. It's werewolf type games are not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. Just like abstracts aren't for everyone, and auction games aren't for everyone, and dudes on a map games are not for everyone, and war games are not for everyone. But they still can be good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
My number one is Next Station Paris. This is on Board Game Arena.
Is it out?
I played it on, I don't know.
You don't know if it's out.
It's on Board Game Arena.
It's on Board Game Arena, but is it out? I mean, this is definitely not a review copy.
We can blame Dan for this because he's like...
Hashtag blame Dan.
He was willing to play games with me on Friday, which was the 31st, and I happened to learn it then. Normally
you're like, I can't learn any games. It's the 31st. I've got my list. But yeah.
And it went right to the top because I love Next Station London so much. And I actually quite enjoyed Tokyo, but it was a lot more like rough. Like it's a tough game, Tokyo. So figuring out that map and all that, it's not as much fun. Whereas Paris, the map is like completely open and there's so many options and the way it works is super cool. I think Paris is better than Tokyo in terms of going from London to Paris to Tokyo. For players who don't play it as crazy much as I do.
So what's the difference?
So in Paris, there are no rivers to cross to get extra 2 points, but there are these little hubs that are considered wild. So they're all over the map. So you don't need a square to go to the spot. You can use anything to go to the spot, and you get 2 points for going to the spot. And the way that there's a wild card. When the wild card comes out, you can go to any squares. But if you go to one of these hubs using that card, you get an additional move. So basically, you get 2 moves every time if you manage to go to a wild spot with the wild card. So it's bonus there. Then you get some other you can add in additional goals like you do in the other Next Station games. But ultimately, the map is super cool. It's very high scoring game, so you're gonna score more than you would in London for sure. So I'm already playing against these sharks that are crushing me. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get good. I gotta get good.
That said, more of the same, but some new flavors. Got it.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of it concerns me a little bit with London and Tokyo and Paris is that there's exactly one map. It's the same map over and over and over again. And it's like, one new rule, drip.
No, it's...
And one new map. Okay, yay. And then a different game, one new rule, drip, and a new map.
Concern, and yet I'm highly addicted. Highly addicted. Highly. I love it. I love it.
I understand.
It's fine. We like different games, and I can play it on BGA and have a good time.
Seems like drip, drip, drip.
I didn't like it. I liked Tokyo less than London, and I like Paris as much as I like London, if not maybe more. I don't know. It's new, so I can't fully judge. I have to play it a couple thousand times, then I can fully judge. I've played London a lot.
Yes, you have. Like 500 times on BGA.
So much.
Yeah.
So much. But
it's fine.
I know it's not for everybody. I know you'll.
Chances the order the cards come out intends to make each play fairly different. Yeah, I guess.
But what
it
Michael
feels the
is
same
saying
to me after.
Michael is saying it's not an experience game.
No, it's not an experience game. But I mean, it's fine. But after 10 plays, I mean, I've seen it. It's like, oh hey, give me circle, 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 triangle. Okay, let's do this substandard move. Oh, and then we get circle. Okay, well now I can't do that because I mean, okay, so it's different, but it's the same map. I'm doing the same things every time.
I get that.
But it's fine. It's fine.
I still love it, and I still want to keep playing it. So
it's fine.
It's probably my favorite roll and write at the moment.
Yeah, no surprise.
I've been playing it for years, so
yeah,
and it's been up there. So
why is it not in your roll and write box?
Because it's a flip and write.
Yeah, but you have those in there too. She has a Zularetto box that she has all of her roll and writes in.
It's true. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Anyway, super great. I love it so much. Play it on BGA right now.
So let's go over our list for those of you who just fast forward to the end, just so you can see what the lists are without all of the boring talk in between. My number 10 was Evergreen from Horrible Guild, provided by Horrible Guild. Number 9, Imperial Reminders, provided by Portal Games. Virtual Revolution, provided by Studio H and Hachette. Number 7, La Familia, The Great Mafia War, provided by Capstone Games. Number 6, The Red Dragon Inn, Battle for Greyport, provided by Slugfest. Number 5, Rebirth, provided by Mighty Boards. Number 4, Don't Mess with Cthulhu from Indie Boards and Cards. Number 3, which I hope is provided by Indie at some point. Number 3, Chu Han, provided by Madigo. Number 2, Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig, provided by Bezier Games. And Blood on the Clocktower, not provided by, but I wish it was, the Pandemonium Institute.
My number 10 is Skyrise from Roxley Games. My number 9, Botanicus from Hansum Gluck.
Provided by
Hansum Gluck. Number 8 was Harmonies from Libelud. Number 7 was Chu Han, provided by Madigo. Number 6 is Rebirth, provided by Mighty Boards. Number 5 is Ito, provided by Arcane Wonders. Number 4 was Imperial Miners, provided by Portal Games. Number 3 was The Red Dragon Inn, Battle for Greyport, provided by Slugfest. Number 2 was La Familia, provided by Capstone. And number 1, Next Station, Paris, from Blue Orange Games.
Not yet provided by.
No, but I will be asking.
You will be asking. There's your rainbow sparkly eye.
I love it.
See?
I can't
See?
help it.
This is what she used to look like. This is what she used to look like with all the games, and now she's like,
I hate everything.
and this is the stars in her eyes when she gets.
So you know
games.
I like it then.
You know she likes it.
I do.
So that is our top 10 for May. We will be doing another one the first time we stream in June.
Yes, and for those watching this before next Sunday, we have a publisher night with 25th Century Games where we are going to give a bunch of games away because they have a Kickstarter going on right now. So be sure to check us out on Twitch next Sunday, where we will play like 4 or 5 games.
Yes,
I'm excited.
It's all from 25th Century.
Yeah, publisher night. So
that's right.
Tons of giveaways. Come join us on twitch.tv/boardgamerstuff starting at 5 p.m. That is what date? I'm going to make sure I get the right date.
It's 7 days from now.
Yeah, so the 9th.
That's right, June 9th.
Yes.
So be sure to join us then. And if you enjoyed this top 10 and you love rules teaches and if you love playthroughs, then you can get about 1,200 or more of those 1 million videos on YouTube at Board Gamer Steph, or you can join us on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we stream through 3 games or more every single stream. So come join us on Twitch, where we play all the games.
And for those on Twitch, we have a bunch of games to show tonight, so
That's right.
stick around.
Stick around. All the games.
All the games. We'll be right back.